Hello, awesome people. I hope you're having a great day today. Today we're taking a look at the penultimate short story in this collection that we've been doing a deep dive into out of 39 short stories for you folks. It was published by all of these various things in the career of Ursula K, LeGuin's, one of the big names in science fiction and fantasy for you folks. This is a 3-page short story, very, very fast for you to read. It's almost like a fast fiction and such, like those super fast things that are like paragraphs are too long and such. It's called She Renames Them for you folks. It's in the second section of the book, which is the section that's dedicated to fantasy and science fiction things, as opposed to the first section of the book, which I'll link you to in the comments below for you folks. It's fun. I liked it. Again, no spoilers and so forth, but the basic key thing that we learn on the first page is that we have a woman, the self-titled she, is renaming the animals to different names. Now, not their specific names, right? So, for example, if a dog was named Rover, then they would be changing the name of dog, or, poodle, and that's a species names too. But not like their actual name that's being renamed here. And then we'll find out on the third. And at first, it just felt like a fun short story, right? And then we'll find out on the third page who she actually is. And I felt like, or could be, and I feel like there's an obvious interpretation that I think most readers would take away. I actually think it's a different interpretation that would be the less obvious one for you folks. So if you read it, you want to talk about those interpretations of who the self-titled she is in this short story. Once we find out on the third page, in the spoilers below, in the comments below, let's just go ahead and do it. Just link it with spoiler tags for us to talk about it and so forth. I liked it. I thought it was fast. But how do you really truly rate a short story that's only 3 pages long and it didn't even take you like 6 or 7 minutes to knock it out, right? So I'm giving this probably, I like the ideas, I like the ending, but I didn't think it was like the most interesting or take that I've heard from Ursula K. LeGuin's, right? And so forth, that I've ever seen either, right? So I feel like this is probably more like a 7 out of 10, if you will, so forth. But if your mileage may vary, and so forth. No justices here. As I mentioned before, she's very influential in science fiction and fantasy, particularly in science fiction. She has some classic works like The Left Hand of Darkness that we've reviewed for you. I also read a novel of hers a couple of years ago called The Lathe of Heaven, which was one of my favorite ones, which was on my bucket list. And my favorite thing by her, I've read. And then I picked up this collection because it has a short story and it calls The Ones Who Walk Away from Home Last, which won her one of many Hugo Awards, which I'd never read of or heard of before, and then found out that it heavily influenced a TV show set in the Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 1. So I picked up this collection to read it, and I was like, well, I got the collection, let's just go ahead. Knock it out, because she's great, right? A lot of her stuff was written decades ago, right? Which is the key title of this channel, The Worst Thing About New Books, which is a quote by a French philosopher, Jacques Joubert, who said that the worst thing about new books was that they kept us from reading the old ones, right? And so read older things that were written decades ago in these two genres that I care about, and in horror too, although I don't know of any of her things that are in that genre. That's definitely a key part of why we're knocking it out a bunch of her stuff, right? I also mentioned she's also a big name in fantasy too for her, Wizardiverse series set in the world of that she creates. It's a young adult for teens, and it has a child named Ged who grows up at a wizard school. And so it's sort of the first young wizard at wizard school with all the sort of tropes and stuff that J.K. Rowling and Harry Potter and other people would copy. Right, so those are also classics and heavily influential too, in different ways and in different takes, and so forth. So there you are. That is She Renames Them, the second to last short story. There's just one left. It's about 21 pages long in this 700 plus collection. I'll link you to it again in the comments below. Have you read it? If so, what did you think about it? Let's talk about it in the comments below. Again, I would love to talk with you about the ending, if you have. If you enjoyed this, why not hit that subscribe button? There's going to be a lot more of these to follow. And if you're feeling frisky, you can hit the bell icon too. And then finally, I just want to thank you so much for taking some time out of your day and investing it in watching my video, because we all have so many things that are happening in our lives, and we're pulled in so many different directions. So the fact that you spent this time with me, that's incredibly humbling, and I appreciate it again. So thanks, and have a great day.